It has just gone 9 o'clock. This is the Wednesday installment of the late edition. We're coming to you live from Johannesburg. My name is Oliver Dixon. Thank you so much for being with me this evening. Really do appreciate it. Lots coming up on the show for you. In fact, breaking news just in, President Cyril Ramaphosa has fired from his cabinet Dr. Deon George as the Minister of Environment, Forestry and Fisheries, and has appointed the Democratic Alliance spokesperson Willem Aucamp into that position of the cabinet. He's also appointed Alexandra Abrahams as the Deputy Minister of Trade, Industry and Competition. We'll bring you all the details and analysis on that on the show today. The global economy is poised to grow at 3.2% this year. The South African economy is only poised to grow at 1.2% this year. That's less than half of the global growth in terms of the rate of growth. We are on the bottom half of the average across the world. We're going to be speaking to Gillard Isaacs about that. The Minister of Finance made that announcement in Parliament today, along with a new inflation target of 3% with a margin of error of 1% on each side of that band to accommodate the natural fluctuations of the economy. Well, is inflation targeting a good thing in practice, and how does that affect monetary policy instruments and tools and policy going forward? Gillard Isaacs will be talking to us about that. He's from the Institute of Economic Justice. And then a little bit later on in the show, we're joined by Floyd Chivambu, the founder and president of the Africa Maibuye movement. Lots of questions to ask him pertaining to the stability of the party, as well as a raft of policy and ideological as well as legislative wish lists that they had announced in a press briefing today. Is that a party that can set itself up to stand apart from its peers and competitors? Floyd Chivambu, of course, having defected from the EFF and then later on being fired from the MK party. We'll talk about that on the show today as well. But first, let's take a look at your headlines. President Cyril Ramaphosa has announced changes to his national executive. In accordance with Section 91 of the Constitution, Ramaphosa has appointed Willem Aucamp as the Minister of Forestry, Fisheries and Environment. Consequently, he has removed Dr. Deon George from the portfolio. Furthermore, the President has appointed Alexandra Abrahams as Deputy Minister for Trade, Industry and Competition.
We must continue to tackle money laundering and terrorism financing to stay off the grey list.
Finance Minister Enoch Godongwana says South Africa's commitment to stabilising public debt is beginning to show positive results. Delivering the 2025 medium-term budget policy statement in the National Assembly, Godongwana warned that the country's most pressing challenges remain accelerating economic growth to create jobs and reduce poverty.
Long ago, our country was on the brink of energy crisis. Unreliable electricity supply threatened to derail our economy and the transformation of our society.
Godongwana had also warned that escalating municipal debt poses a risk to Eskom's improved financial performance. Godongwana further expressed pleasure at the positive progress shown by Eskom this year. For the first time in nearly a decade, the power utility has reported a profit.
Firstly, there is no working relationship, let alone an endless one. He had his working relationship, not the municipality, not the EMPD.
The Madlanga Commission has heard of the insidious lengths suspended EMPD Police Chief Julius Mkhwanazi allegedly went to in a bid to legitimise Vusimusi Cat Matlala's company, Cat VIP Protection Services, so-called agreement with the City of Ekurhuleni in what has been described as a cover-up.
The internal audit forensic report that we had commissioned has actually pronounced clearly that is why now there's a suspension of the former, the suspended acting chief and all other related officials who would have connived deliberately.
The executive mayor of the City of Ekurhuleni has vowed to deal with deadwood within the metro. He was speaking on the back of the suspension of the Ekurhuleni Metro Police Department's Deputy Chief, Brigadier Julius Mkhwanazi. Mkhwanazi is accused of approving the fitting of blue lights to Vusimusi Cat Matlala's private vehicles.
Rain is always a positive. The earlier it comes, the better.
The amount of rain was also good. I don't think there's any disadvantages to that.
Some farmers in the Free State say the recent rains have brought much needed relief as they can prepare their land ahead of the planting season. They are, however, concerned about dry conditions expected late in the summer of the return of the El Niño weather pattern.